this is the place. Very quiet, retired, romantic, etc. Music in the distance, all very appropriate and sentimental. You seem perfectly calm, Lady Lee.
Conservatories are not an unusual appendage to a ballroom, Mr. Croxted, nor is this conservatory like other conservatories.
I wonder why women are always so evasive.
With your permission, we will not discuss the sex. You and I are too old to be cynical and too young to be appreciative. Besides, it's a rule of mine whenever I set out to dance. My partner refrains from the subject of women and golf.
You limit the area of conversation. But then, in this particular instance, I take it we have not come here to talk.
I beg your pardon?
Lady Aline, we have half an hour before us. We shall not be disturbed, for the Duchess, your aunt, has considerably stationed her aged companion in the court, with instructions to ward off intruders.
Mr. Croxted!
Didn't you know? Oh, that's right, of course you did. Don't you know why I brought you here? Oh, that's right, of course you do. The Duchess, your aunt, and the Marchioness, your mother, observe how fondly my tongue trips out the titles. Smiled sweetly on us as we left the hall. There will be a notice in the Morning Post tomorrow. A marriage has been arranged
Mr.
between...
Croxted, this is...
Because I have not yet proposed to you. Of course I intend to, Lady Lee, only as I know that you will accept me.
Let's return to the ballroom.
Oh, please, that won't help us, you know. I can assure you I have never proposed before, so naturally, I am a trifle nervous. I am merely trying to do the right thing, though perhaps not the conventional one. Before offering you my hand and fortune, which amounts to a little over 3 millions.
People exaggerate. Between 6 and 7, I heard.
Only 3 at present, but we must be patient. Before throwing myself at your feet, metaphorically, I am anxious that you should know something of the man whom you are about to marry.
That is really most considerate.
I am aware that this is your 9th season.
You are remarkably well informed.
I was told that again 3 times tonight by charming and women who found that they love me. Now, seeing as I have no dearest friends of my own, I think you will find it very unlikely to hear anything equally definite concerning myself. I propose to enlighten you.
Story of your life. How thrilling.
I trust you may find it so. Lady Aline, I am a self-made man. I was poor and lonely for 32 years. I have been rich and lonely for 10. My millions have been made honestly enough, but poverty and wretchedness have left their mark on me, and you will find very few men with a good word to say for Heresy Croxted. I have no polish, or cultures, or tastes. Art wearies me. Literature sends me to sleep.
Mr. Croxted, when it comes to the chapter of personal efficiencies, let me remind you that they are sufficiently evident for me to have already observed them.
That is true. I will move on then to more intimate matters. In a little township in Australia, a horrible place, but there was gold, I met a woman whom I loved. She is what is technically known as a bad woman. She ran away with another man. I tracked them to Texas, and in a mining camp there I shot the man. I wanted the woman back, but she refused. That has been my solitary love affair, and I shall never love any woman again as I have loved her. I think that is all I have to say to you. And now, will you marry me, Lady Aline?
Not if you were the last man in this world, Mr. Croxted.
At least that is emphatic.
See, I will give you confidence for confidence. This is, as you suggest, my 9th season. Living in an absurd milieu where marriage to a wealthy man is regarded as the one aim in life, I have done all that lay in my power to wring a proposal from you.
I appreciate your sincerity.
Perhaps the knowledge that other women were doing the same lent a little zest to the pursuit, which otherwise would have been very dreary. But I must confess your personality did not especially appeal to me.
Thank you very much.
Not at all. Indeed, this room being the palace of truth, I feel I should tell you that it was only by thinking hard for 3 millions that I was able to unburden the weariness that I felt in your society. And now, will you marry me, Mr. Croxted?
I fancy that's what we're here for, isn't it?
I have, of course, been debarred from the disreputable amours in which you linger so fondly. But I loved a soldier friend once, would have run away with him had my mother not packed me off in time. He went to India, and I stayed here. He's the only man I have ever loved or will ever love. Furthermore, let me tell you that I'm 28. I've always been poor. I hate poverty, desiring no less than you. Dress is the one thing in life I care for most. Vulgarity, my chief abomination. And let me be frank when I say you're the most vulgar person I've ever met. Will you still marry me, Mr. Croxted?
Why not?
This is an outrage. Do you expect me to sell myself to you for your 3 millions?
Logic, my dear Lady Lee, is evidently not one of your most special possessions. Or had I not told you of my somewhat eccentric preliminaries, you would have accepted it, would you not? If I had said to you, timidly, Lady Lee, I love you. I am a simple, unsophisticated man. Will you marry me? You would have answered, yes, Harrison, I will.
It is a mercy to have escaped to marry a man with such a Christian name as Harrison.
It has been in the family for generations. Now, let us return to the question of our marriage.
I beg your
I
pardon.
presume that it is arranged.
Mr. Croxton, let me remind you that frankness has its limits. Exceeding these, it is apt to degenerate into impertinence. Kindly escort me back to the ballroom.
You have 5 sisters, I believe, Lady Lee. All younger than you, all unmarried. Your father,
Not a word of my father.
your father is a gentleman. The breed is rare and very fine when you get it, but he is exceedingly poor. People marry for money nowadays, and your mother will be very unhappy if this marriage clause falls through.
Is it to oblige my mother then that you desire to marry me?
Well, no. But you see, I must marry someone in mere self-defense. And honestly, I think you will do just as well as anyone else. I will say that when a woman deliberately tries to wring a proposal from a man whom she does not love, she deserves to be spoken to as I have spoken to you, Lady Lee.
Love? What does love got to do with marriage?
That remark rings hollow. You were kind enough to tell me of your friend whom you did love,
Well,
and who you would have eloped with had your mother not prevented you, yes?
I most certainly should.
So you see, at one period in your life, you thought different.
I have told you.
Where is this friend now?
In America. Might I suggest we have exhausted the subject?
I will put him in a position to marry.
What?
Oh, don't be alarmed. I'll manage it pleasantly. I'll give him tips, shares, speculate with him. Make him a director of 1 or 2 of my companies. He shall have an income of $4,000 a year. You can live on that.
You are not serious.
I am. And though men may not like me, they always trust my word. You may.
That is generous, and you seem sincere.
I am permitting myself that luxury tonight. I am uncorking, let us say, the 1 bottle of 47 port left in my set.
You are not quite fair to yourself, perhaps.
Do not let this action of mine cause you too suddenly to alter your opinion. The verdict you pronounced before was, on the whole, just.
What verdict?
I was the most unpleasant man you ever met.
That was an exaggeration.
The most repulsive.
I never said that.
And who prided himself on his repulsiveness. Very true in the main, but yet consider. My wealth dates back 10 years. Till then, I had known hunger and every kind of sorrow and despair. I had stretched out longing arms to the world, but not a heart open to me. And suddenly, when the taste of men's cruelty was bitter in my mouth, capricious fortune snatched me from abject poverty and gave me delirious wealth. I was plowing a barren field and flung up a nugget. From that moment, gold dogged my footsteps. I enriched the few friends I had. They turned howlingly from me because I did not give them more. I showered money on whoever salted of me. They cursed me because it was mine to give. In my poverty, there had been the common bond of sorrow between me and my fellows. In my wealth, I stand alone, a modern Ishmael, every man's hand against me.
And why do you tell me this?
Because I'm no longer asking you to marry me. Because you are the first person in all of these years who has been truthful and frank with me. And because in the happiness that I trust will be yours, I want you to think kindly of me. And now, shall we return to the ballroom? The music is stopped. They must be going to supper.
What shall I say to the Marchioness, my mother, and the Duchess, my aunt?
You will acquaint those noble ladies with the fact that you haven't refused.
Shall be a 9 minutes wonder. And how do you propose to carry out your little scheme?
I will take Saturday to it. You will give me a line to your friend. I shall better state the case plainly to him, perhaps.
Man's consideration.
Now I shall ask you what you shall do for me in return. Find your wife!
I?
You! I beg it on my knees. I give you carte blanche. I undertake to propose with my eyes shut to the woman you shall select.
And do you intend to treat her to the little preliminaries with which you have treated me?
No. I said those things because I like you.
And you don't intend to like the other one?
I will marry her. I can trust you to find me a loyal and intelligent woman
In society?
for preference. She will be better at spending money than a governess or a country person's daughter.
But why this veracity for marriage?
Lady Lee, I am hunted, pestered, worried, persecuted. If you do not help me, some energetic woman will capture me, I feel it, and bully me for the rest of my days. I raise a despairing cry to you. Just find me a wife.
Do you intend the baby to have any special qualifications?
No. The homegrown article will do. Oh, one thing though. I should like her to be merciful.
I don't understand.
I have a vague desire to do something with my money. My wife might help. I should like her to have pity.
Yes. And as regards the rest?
The rest I leave to you, with absolute confidence. You will help me.
I will try. My choice is to be final.
Absolutely.
Do you have an intimate friend? I wonder whether she would.
Tell me about her.
She and I made our debut the same season. Like myself, she has hitherto been the object of a mother's despair.
Because she has not yet.
Married, yes. Men only knew how hard the lot of it was of the portionless girl who has to sit and smile and wait, all with a desolate heart. They'd be less unkind to her, perhaps. But I digress.
Tell me more of your friend.
She is outwardly hard and a trifle bitter, but I fancy sunshine before her. There has not been much happiness in her life.
Would she marry a man she did not love?
If she did, would you not respect her?
I did not say that. It will be your choice, and therefore deserving of my confidence. Is she handsome?
Well, no.
That's a pity. But we can't have everything.
No. There is one episode in her life that she would like you to know.
If you're not betraying your confidence.
No. Years ago, she loved a man very dearly. They were too poor to marry, so they decided to wait. Within 6 months, she learned he was engaged. To a fat and wealthy widow.
The old story.
Who was touring through India and had been made love to by every unnamed officer in the regiment. She chose him.
India.
Yes.
I have an idea that I shall like your friend.
I shall be careful to warn her of all that you said earlier.
I have a feeling those remarks may not apply after all.
But if I am to know each of you, I would know that if she does marry you, it will not be altogether with your money.
Listen, they're playing God Save the King. Will you be my wife?
Yes, Harry.
Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate all of you guys.
Welcome.